According to most people on the internet, the perfect morning routine looks a little something like this. Wake up early, journal, meditate, get some fresh air, work out, drink an absurd amount of water, breakfast, run a marathon, take a cold plunge, read a book, and somehow completing all of that before 7 a.m. And while my mornings don't exactly look like that, I've just never been a morning person. And because my mornings don't resemble that golden standard, almost every morning I wake up feeling behind, anxious, defeated, and ironically still tired. So I'm changing things up. I'm gonna try 2 different morning routines. The first being that kind of extreme CEO, professional athlete, actor like morning routine, you know, like very hustle culture. And then the second will be a less intense version of that, to which I created with some help from ChatGPT. And the goal is to hopefully meet somewhere in the middle, you know, Frankensteining my own kind of curated morning routine to hopefully make my mornings a little less anxious. So without further ado, let's do this.
It's 6 a.m.
Yay. It's so quiet. It's nice fresh air in the morning. Don't get me wrong, it's a cold fresh air in the morning, but it's nice. And we get some daylight, which is always needed by these so-called experts.
I bet you all these experts, all these entrepreneurs, all these business people, athletes, none of them who wake up this early in the morning and get sunlight live in Canada. I can almost guarantee you that. It is freezing out. And because the sun is only just rising, it just makes it way colder. It's in the negative 20s. Ah!
Nobody in their right mind takes a cold shower. All right, so quick recap here. I've gotten up, made my bed, got some fresh air and some sunlight, went to the gym, took a very cold shower, made breakfast, ate breakfast, and I'm enjoying a smoothie, and it's not even 8:30 yet. I am better than everybody. So next up on our morning routine checklist is actually to make a to-do list for the day. This part I actually really like because I think when you write stuff down, it just becomes a little more solidified and something that you feel like you need to do. A little bit of an obligation, if that makes sense. So let me write this and then we can get into it. All right, and now that we've got our to-do list, it's time to start today. I've seen so many different things online of how to effectively manage your time. The one that I always see popping up is the Pomodoro technique, which is pretty much doing work, whatever task you need to do in like 25 to 30-minute increments, and then taking a quick 5-minute break and then doing it over again. And then after doing that 4 times, you take a longer 20 to 30-minute break and then rinse and repeat. I don't know how it's gonna go because I have a lot of editing to do today, and usually when I edit, I like to, you know, kind of get in a flow state and just edit for a few hours. But maybe doing it in these smaller intervals with fresh lens and fresh eyes every single time might actually benefit. Who knows? And honestly, the only way to figure that out is to give it a whirl. Okay, that was my timer. That was 25 minutes. Pretty good if you ask me for a first session. Now I'm gonna run to the bathroom, stretch my legs a little, and then I'll come back here and do it all over again. Because apparently that's what we do for the day now. Hey, didn't see you there. What am I talking about? Obviously I did. I set up the camera there. What a stupid joke. Did it pay off? Was it worth it? Am I gonna put this in the edit? I don't know. One thing I'm realizing, maybe it's the sadistic part of me, is that if there's a timer going off and I know there's like a countdown to something, it kind of adds a layer of stress, but not like a bad version of stress, like a good version for me. I feel like it's kind of a game and I want to complete that task before the timer runs out. Feels like it's pushing me to do it quicker. Who knows if it actually works? So Pomodoro is onto something, I think. Yeah, sometimes that 25-minute spell can feel a little short, like it cuts myself off at times. But so far, working well. Let's get back to it. I think the craziest part about starting your day at 6 a.m. is that like I've been doing the Pomodoro technique for a few hours now, and it's just like it's 12:30 and I've already done so much. I don't know, it just feels like a cheat code to do a lot of things in your day. When in reality, I feel like I'm gonna crash really hard later tonight, so like the time frame of waking up later and then going to bed later and doing the same amount of work probably evens itself out, but society doesn't think so. Now, don't get me wrong, I was miserable waking up this morning, but maybe it's the psychology behind it that you complete all these small tasks early before you start your day that you feel more successful and productive throughout the rest of it. I don't know, that's why we're trying this out. I'll see you tomorrow morning where we try out a different morning routine.
Good morning.
You see, it's usually at this time in the morning where I lay in bed for a while, stress out, maybe scroll my phone, whatever, and just get like an overwhelming feeling of anxiety, stress, everything else in between. And although I actually think it's needed some mornings, we're not going to do it today.
A clean mouth is a happy mouth. Cheers.
Is this the kind of content you guys are looking for? Exhilarating. I know.
I stand by this. Making your bed in the morning is the smallest accomplishment you can do. So do it. Like, why not start the day already having accomplished something? To me, it's just a no-brainer. And will definitely be something I keep in my final morning routine. I'm an animal. So this time I actually decided to have my breakfast before going to the gym because sometimes I can find it hard to work out on an empty stomach. I don't know, maybe that's just me. And then because a cold shower was just way too much for me, I decided to just take a normal shower, but then switch it to cold for like the final minute of it. And although it's something I don't know if I would do every single day, after I do a session, I usually feel pretty good afterwards. So maybe it is something I should do every day, or at least every other day or every few days, whatever. Even if it's for like a quick 5-10 minutes, I totally see it helping. And the nice thing is like you don't have to do the exact same one every single day. You can follow guided ones, just do breathing, listen to some music while you do it. Just kind of go in with a peaceful start to the day. The rest of the day from here on out kind of plays the exact same as it would the other. Making like my to-do list, my top priorities for the day, but also just making a logistical flow to the day, which helps. And then it's the Pomodoro technique. I actually really enjoyed it the day before. There were a few times where it was like, I wish I had an extra 30 minutes, so I might interchange those here and there. But working hard for 25-30 minutes uninterrupted, and then doing like a small, quick, easy task within those 5-minute breaks, and then back to it, rinse and repeat, actually is pretty productive. Who would have thought, eh? I think the thing here is, though, that there's not one specific thing that works for everybody. As someone who wouldn't call themselves a morning person, waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. to start your day to be productive just kind of is counterintuitive. So dialing it to me while also keeping those important main pillars of like hydration, move your body, plan the day, stuff like that. And as long as you kind of keep it consistent and do what works for you, I don't think there is this right answer. And from here on out, it'll be about adapting to see what works best for me and continue doing so. I once heard someone say that no matter what time they wake up in the morning, they'll always be miserable. And I couldn't think of anything that's truer for me. So if I'm always gonna be tired and groggy no matter I wake up early, a little bit later, or so on, why not just be consistent with it and do the things that I think will make the day better? Because if I'm gonna be miserable in the morning no matter what, then who cares? Yeah, that's why you come to this channel, for grade A advice like that.